Okay, so very quickly in this video, all I want to be doing is I'm just going to take the air filter out and just give it a blowout and a clean. I haven't done it for a while, so I thought just a quick blast. If it's really bad, I'll order a new filter and replace it. So first thing we need to do is we need to get the seat off, then we'll lift the tank up so we can get underneath, and then we'll take off the top of the air box. So take the seat off, simple enough, take the bolt out of here. Same on the other side, and then all you do is just lift the seat, pull it forward, and that's the seat out. Okay. Away. Okay, so next thing is we need to take out those two bolts. Okay, so once we've taken out the two screws, we can lift the tank up. You can see I've got a piece of wood here, it's about 2 foot long. And what we do is we lift the tank up. Okay, and then you place the stick underneath the tank, up against the headstock. Okay, and then that keeps the tank out the way so that you can actually work on here. Okay, so once we've got the tank up and out of the way, what we're going to be doing is undoing this ring of screws around the outside. You can see here, yeah, and these are Phillips screws. Okay, they're not Posi-Drive, they're Phillips. So we're going to undo the whole ring of screws all the way around, take all of those out, and then we should be able to then pull the top of the box off. Okay. Oh, forgot there. Let me just once you got the top of the box off, obviously there's your filter, and these are the entrances into the pots down into the obviously into the engine. So at this point I would suggest that you get yourself a clean, very clean cloth. Okay, and cover those up so you can't accidentally drop anything into them. Okay, and then at this point we can take out the filter and give it a blowout and a clean. Okay, so the airflow comes in through the two scoops at the front. They come into here, they come up through the filter, over the top, and then down and into the carbs. So you can see it's the underneath is the really dirty bit, so that's where the air is drawn through, coming out the top here. Okay, so it comes in underneath, out through the top, over the top, into the carbs. So we need to blow it out that way, not this way. Okay, against the normal flow of air travel. Okay, so all I've done now is I've used my airline, I've blown out the intake side of the filter, and then I've blown through this way to make sure everything's clear going that way. And that's all I'm going to do, and then just replace the filter, and I'll actually be changing the filter. This is just a quick, just to blow it out, make sure it's not really blocked. Okay, so I will be replacing this in the next few weeks. Okay, at the same time I'll also be changing the oil and filter, and I'll be showing you how to change the spark plugs. While we're here though, one thing I want to point out, if we just move this back, you can see this very large gauze piece here. If I pull this out, you can see this. This is the breather from the engine crankcase. So all those unburnt fumes that are in the crankcase will come up here. They basically, it's only going to be big particles, so this is a very rough piece of foam. Okay, and all of those gases come up through the foam, they get captured in the bottom, the dirty air comes into the top, goes back into the engine, so it's reburning or burning the unburnt gases. Okay, So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to give this a quick wash out in some cleaner. Make sure there's no water in it, make sure it's nice and clean, and then just put it back in. There's nothing else I need to do to it. I'm just going to clean this out a little tiny bit, put it back in. But if you do wash it out in soapy water, make sure it's absolutely dry and no water is in this before you put it back in. Okay, so this has all been cleaned out now. It's all nice and clean. Just pop that back in. And then all we do now is just pop the lid back on and screw it all back down. Okay, so nice and carefully, make sure we locate everything in the right place. Just giving it a jiggle to make sure that all the screws sort of line up in the holes, ready to go in. Okay, the 3 large screws that go at the back. Okay, so for these, just put them in very slowly. That's it, just a couple of clicks. I just want to make sure it's down. Don't over tighten them, okay? Remember, you're only screwing into plastic, so if you put too much torque on them, you're going to strip them. Make sure this is back in the right place for the moment. Screws around it. Push this up to one side just so. Okay, make sure they're all tightened down. Okay. Make sure that it's located properly all the way around. Yep, nice and tight. So now we can pull this cloth out. Let the tank back down. Okay, obviously be aware how heavy this is going to be depending on how much fuel you're in it. I'm okay because I'm actually on reserve at the moment, so it's practically empty. So tank back down, 2 bolts back in, and the seat back on, and that's basically how you get to your air filter if you want to clean it or replace it.